What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to have the talk that may upset a lot of people, but a talk I do think is almost necessary at this point. I want to talk about if Mass Effect, the Legendary Edition, the remaster collection that will be coming out at some point, probably in spring. We've theorized March before. If that game should change the ending of Mass Effect 3. It's a slippery slope. It's a thing that we have to talk about, a couple different aspects about, and we're going to go from there. Number one, if you guys do like this kind of stuff, if you guys, and I've covered Mass Effect, by the way, for several months at this point, make sure you guys are subscribed. Make sure you guys have the bell icon turned on. If you guys also want to subscribe to my second channel, I do have a second channel, Podcast Now Plus. Plus is in the word, not the symbol. Link for it is in the description below, or obviously you can just search it up on YouTube. I would be much appreciated, obviously, if you guys support me anywhere. So again, this is going to be rough. A thing that's, I think, important to note is, again, there's two aspects of it. We're talking about should it happen, because, and I'm not saying, like, will it happen, and the easy answer to that is, well, like, why am I not saying it? Because it's not. There's no, in my opinion, there's no way at all that they're going to have a different ending than what we actually got. In terms of the base story for all three of these games, it's the exact same thing. When you do a remaster collection like this, you're not changing it, okay? So just in case maybe somebody thought that was the case, I mean, I'm not here to tell you that you're wrong and I'm right, but I'm here to tell you that I just don't think that that's going to happen, okay? Maybe we'll be shocked. Maybe it'll be the first of its kind for a remaster like this, but I don't think the ending of Mass Effect 3 is going to change. The only thing that's changing is visuals, is performance, is, added, like the DLC and, like, cut content, stuff like that. Like, that'll all be added in, but you're not going to radically, which is what you would be doing, change the ending of Mass Effect 3. All right, should it, though? Well, this is going to make people, I would say, very, very mad, okay? And so I know I've had people that have been subscribed to me for Mass Effect for a long time, so please stick with me after I say these things. I don't think it actually should. I'm a big believer in, here I'm going to try and boil down where I think of it, and so hopefully I don't make anybody upset, because I think all of you should understand what I'm getting at once I'm done, okay? So hear me out for the next little while here. I'm fully in support of the developers doing whatever they want. So, like, The Last of Us Part 2, do I think that they shouldn't have done what they did with some of the things? Yeah. But do I respect the fact that it's up to them to do it? Yeah. Ultimately, they make the game, and this, by the way, goes with anything. But again, hear me out, because I'm going to maybe come to your guys' side in a second. They make the game. They make all the decisions that they want. Now, the point of it, though, is you also have to do things that will appeal to the fans. Okay, that's the important part that you guys have to remember, and that they need to remember too. They can do whatever they want. They can make whatever crazy choices they want, whether it's in a brand new game like an original IP, or if it's sequels to games that are already loved. They can do whatever they want, but they have to remember why people like them in the first place. You know what I mean? And so that goes with Mass Effect. That goes with the example of The Last of Us, and they can do whatever. We have the choice to say that we don't like it, and we have the choice to not buy it. I would argue, though, we have the option to, like, demand or say whatever you want. Like, I'm not telling you guys how to live. It's basically what I'm trying to push through here. You have every right to write on Twitter that you're upset that the ending sucks for Mass Effect 3. If you believe that, you have the right to say it. I'm not saying you don't. To demand it, to threaten. Okay, the threatening part is obviously where you take it over the line. But you know what I mean? That I don't necessarily believe in. I think that what happened with Mass Effect 3 was a slippery slope, because the ending, I do agree, like, the ending was pretty awful, okay? And even when they added, remember when people had an outrage and they added more to it, and people said online, like, oh, Jesus, like, they bent the knee, basically. They succumbed to what people were saying online. Now, I don't think that's necessarily evil, because you do have to keep in mind what people do, or what people say, like, online. But I think, I really do think there's, like, a balancing act somewhere in the middle there. Do you know what I'm saying? I could be saying this really poorly. What I would say should have happened with Mass Effect 3 is this. The game came out. The game's ending was awful, okay? Now, again, it's all this is opinionated, okay? So if you thought the ending was amazing, that's awesome. If you thought it was awful, that's awesome, okay? The game comes out. The ending is awful. People go online and say, what in God's name did you do? Everything there is fine. Everything there is fine. You making your voice heard is completely cool. And then BioWare maybe even commenting on it and saying, yeah, you know what? We messed up there. That's cool. for them to add or change it, or even for now, so like to talk about the Legendary Edition, for them to change it now and say, we made good on it, guys, we changed the ending, I don't think that's right. I feel like you kind of have to, like let it happen. Like, it failed. Like, the ending didn't work, and if you didn't like it, there's ways of making them pay. Do you know what I mean? You don't buy Andromeda. You don't buy the next Mass Effect game. Or if you don't want to go that severe, because I know some people may want to support it, but they may want to just be angry. Well, then just make sure they hear you. Maybe make sure that you're really pointing out, heading into these new games, the flaws. In fact, I think that's what everybody should, especially like this new Mass Effect game, because we know they're making a new Mass Effect game, right? Nobody, not a single soul on planet Earth, should be giving that game the benefit of the doubt. You know what I mean? I don't care that it's a different team. I don't care that it's different people working on it than Andromeda. Nobody should be going in saying, you know what? I'm going to give them they have full leeway. I trust them. They're going to do an amazing. Nobody should think that. I see people kind of drooling over the images, the images of like the ship they posted, and it's like, all right, we can be excited for it. I mean, I like seeing concept art as well, but like, don't go into that first trailer and say, oh, guaranteed, slam dunk, success. You know what I mean? We have to hold their feet to the fire and say, you guys royally messed up the ending of Mass Effect 3, if you believe that, and you royally, and I do fully believe this one. I didn't despise the ending of Mass Effect 3, but I certainly didn't think it was like the greatest of all time. Okay, so I kind of fall in the middle. But like Andromeda, what was that? That was an absolute joke. You know what I mean? And again, I get it's different people, it's a different team, but like, we have to hold them accountable. You know what I mean? Maybe people just boycott them altogether and don't buy their game because of that. They have every right to do that. That's the power we hold. But in terms of like an artist, and even I would say that about like YouTube. You know what I mean? If I say I make a video and because again, you got to remember, like, this is a game that they spend years on, and they feel confident, and they're making all these choices, and they publish it to the world. So imagine I do a video, and let's just even shorten it a little bit. Let's say I work on a video for like a month, okay? A video I'm so like pumped about, and I promote so much, and then I put out there, and people like it, but they think like the ending is absolutely awful. I feel like you kind of just take that loss, and you say, all right, well, I'll fix it on the next one. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to take all the stuff that I learned, and I'm going to do better the next time. I'm not going to say, well, I'll take the video down and I'm going to change it, and that's going to hurt all this other kind of stuff. And what that also shows is, if somebody doesn't like my voice, well, then I have to change my voice. Or if somebody doesn't like the length of my videos, I have to change the videos. I think, again, that's kind of the dangerous game. And I get it, because like, we're the consumers, they're the developers. We feel like that's maybe how it should be. I mean, I think to some extent, but again, like, taking that model, that's a dangerous world, because then you can nitpick on anything, and then you'll feel like they have to change it for you. You know what I mean? You'll feel like entitled. And I don't want to say like anybody is entitled, okay? But like, I feel like that kind of promotes that mindset. You know what I mean? And I don't think that's a good mindset for people to have in that way. And again, I'm not saying like you can't have opinions. You can't voice your anger, your displeasure. In fact, I'm actually like on board with that. I don't actually think a lot of YouTubers are on board with that. They may say, if you do not like something, maybe just be quiet about it. I've seen people say that. I'm not about that. If you guys hate something, make your voice heard. Don't cross any lines. Don't threaten. Don't do things that you shouldn't do. But make your voice heard. You know what I mean? So like, that's where I come at it, is that I don't want us to feel like we can just nitpick anything and the developers have to change it, because I don't think that's a good relationship. I think the way it should be is you make the game, you put it out. If a part of it is terrible, even if I get it. I get the ramifications that ending did, because to some people it ruined Mass Effect. Okay, so I get that. But like, I feel like BioWare just needs to take that loss and say, okay, what can we do better in the future, and let's actually do it. And then us as consumers, we have to hold them accountable to that. We have to, or maybe you just, again, maybe you say, I don't want to buy any more of their games, and you make them pay money-wise. You say, I'm not supporting you anymore. And if a lot of people do that, they get hurt. They feel the pain from the mistakes they've made. And I think that's probably the way that it should happen. You know what I mean? I think that's the way that I would personally do it. Like, if I don't like it, that much, I'm just going to kind of lower my trust button bar for them going forward. It's like, well, I'm not gonna like give you the benefit of the doubt anymore. I'm really gonna criticize you maybe completely off the bat. Where some people would say, well, you can't really go at them. And I see people say that because I talk about Gotham Knights. People will say, well, you can't really go at them for the gameplay presentation because it's alpha footage. We don't know what the full game is. Well, you can go back in the history of them and you can, think about what we saw now, and you can kind of theorize where we're going. I think you can voice your opinion on that. You know what I mean? And so that's what I would kind of advise for an example like this for Mass Effect. Hopefully I didn't make anybody too mad. Hopefully I didn't cross any lines with you guys. I do appreciate your guys' support. Leave in the comments below, what do you think? Should the game change it? How do you think that ending went? What's your opinion on it, the way that I kind of expressed my opinion? Let me know. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed. Make sure you guys have the bell icon turned on. Again, if you guys want to subscribe to my second channel, Podcast Now Plus, you could search it on YouTube, or the link for it is in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I truly do appreciate it. More Mass Effect videos coming very, very soon. I will be covering Legendary Edition when it releases. I hope to see you guys there.